Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mohammed Haris and this is Fears, where stories don't whisper, fear speaks. Tonight you'll hear bloody, real and terrifying tales told by none other than Killer Droid, who doesn't just narrate, she clings to your mind. If you're alone or feel like someone's watching you, it's better you stop this video right now, because these stories attack in silence. But if you truly think you're brave, then watch till the end and drop a comment. Fears can't harm me. Subscribe to Fears, because the next story might be right behind you. Recite Ayatul Kursi. The tale is about to begin.
The wind screamed through the jagged Ural Mountains, slicing across the icy ridges like 1,000 invisible blades. In February 1959, 9 hikers, young, experienced, and fearless, marched into the heart of the Siberian wilderness. None of them would return alive. Their final photo captured frozen smiles beneath thick layers of winter gear, eyes full of adventure. Their destination, Mount Otorden. In the language of the native Mansi tribe, it meant, "Don't go there." They should have listened. Days turned into silence. Then weeks. When no word came, rescue teams climbed into the frost-bitten north. What they found ignited decades of terror. The tent was there, abandoned, half buried in snow, torn open from the inside. Everything was still inside: boots, jackets, food. But the hikers were gone. Footprints led away, barefoot in below zero temperatures. The first 2 bodies were found under a cedar tree, half naked, fingers blackened, faces frozen in pain. Branches above were broken, like they'd scrambled up in panic or were dragged. 3 more bodies were scattered nearby, fallen as if fleeing. But the final 4, buried deep in a ravine, were far worse. 1 had a shattered skull. 2 had ribs crushed so violently, it was like being hit by a truck. And 1, Ludmila Dubanino, was missing her tongue, eyes, and part of her face. No struggle, no blood. Just silence. The official cause: an unknown compelling force. Locals whispered of glowing orange orbs in the sky that night. Some said the site was cursed. Others blamed secret Soviet weapons. But nothing explained the look of pure horror frozen on their faces. Or why trained hikers ran into the darkness half naked. A diary entry was found in the tent. Just 1 line: "We now know snowmen exist." Was it a joke, a warning, or something else? To this day, no one knows. The Dyatlov Pass remains a frozen graveyard of unanswered questions, and the truth: it never came back down that mountain. They were born just minutes apart, identical in every way, June and Jennifer Gibbons. From the moment they could speak, they refused to speak to anyone else. Not their parents, not their teachers, not even their younger siblings. Only each other. Whispers began early in their small Welsh town. People said they moved like ghosts, synchronized, wordless, silent. In public, they walked in perfect unison, blinked together, turned their heads at the same time, and always looked just a little off, like puppets attached to the same invisible string. Behind closed doors, they invented a secret language no one could understand. Rapid, fluid, and alien. They'd stare at each other for hours, whispering things that made no sense. And when separated, they'd shut down completely, fall into catatonic silence, refusing to eat, move, or even blink. There, isolation turned inward. They wrote dark, disturbing fiction, Stories about death, suicide, and twins who killed one another. Pets started dying in their neighborhood. Fires started. Soon, they began committing petty crimes together: burglary, vandalism, even arson. Watching buildings burn with lifeless eyes. Eventually, they were sent to Broadmoor Hospital, a high-security psychiatric facility. For 11 years, they lived there. Still silent. Still locked in their own private world. Doctors said it was like watching one mind trapped in two bodies. Then, one day, Jennifer turned to June and said, "It's time. I'm going to die now." Hours later, she did no illness. No injury. Just ... Gone. The autopsy showed sudden acute inflammation of the heart. No poison. No trauma. No explanation. After her sister's death, June began to speak, in full sentences. In interviews, in therapy. Like a spell had been broken. She told people Jennifer had always been the dominant one, that they had made a pact. One had to die so the other could live a normal life. She said Jennifer had chosen to be the sacrifice. Even now, June walks the streets quietly, a shadow of a girl who once never spoke. And some say, late at night, she still whispers, ... but not to anyone they can see. It began with a missing persons report. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student traveling alone through California. On January 26, 2013, she checked into the infamous Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. She was never seen alive again. Cecil had a dark history, home to suicides, murders, serial killers, and decades of tragedy. But what happened to Eliza would become its most chilling mystery. 19 days after she vanished, the hotel's guests began complaining about the water. It tasted foul. The pressure was low. It was black dot when maintenance staff checked the rooftop water tanks. They found something floating inside. It was Elisa. Her naked body was curled in the tank. Her clothes and belongings were floating nearby. The tank was locked, the alarm system silent, and the only access was through a locked door and a ladder that required a key. Police ruled it an accident, but no one could explain how she got in there. Then came the elevator footage. Hotel security had released the last known video of Eliza alive. It's just 2 minutes long, but it's pure nightmare fuel. She enters the elevator, presses multiple buttons, then hides in the corner, peeking out as if something invisible is following her. She steps out, steps in, waves her hands strangely, her fingers twitching unnaturally. She looks like she's talking to something that isn't there. The elevator doors never closed. To this day, no one knows what she was seeing. Some say it was psychosis. Others say she was possessed. Internet sleuths found connections to everything from demonic legends to a tuberculosis outbreak in LA. Even the test for the disease was named LA Amylisa, but all of it felt too strange, too orchestrated, too dark. No fingerprints, no footage of her on the roof. The tank was too heavy for her to open alone. And yet, she ended up inside. Some believe Eliza never left the elevator. That something took her, pulled her into another place. Or that something in the hotel didn't want her to leave. The Cecil's cursed legacy didn't end with Elisa Lam, but hers is the story that still haunts the walls and plays over and over in the elevator no one dares ride at night.
These were tonight's stories, but remember, they didn't come to scare you, they came to wake you up. If your heart's still beating, you belong to Fears. subscribe, hit the bell. Because fear doesn't knock, and if you feel shadow move and don't turn around. The story has ended us, but someone's still watching you.